The maintenance of truck pump. Truck-mounted concrete pump is a kind of popular concrete construction machinery. It's easy to suffer from wearing loss and fault with time going by, so the daily maintenance is very important. However, what should be usually paid attention to on the truck pump? First, check the hydraulic oil. Check the surface of oil tank is clean or not. Ensure the oil level is not less than the lowest line in pumping mode, not more than the highest line in driving mode. The standard hydraulic oil is transparent and light yellow. The hydraulic oil which is recommended by manufacturer should not be replaced if it's emulsified. Second, check the grease and water tank. Ensure the grease tank and lubrication points are full of grease. The water just covered the rod of hydraulic cylinder shouldn't full of water tank. Third, check the lubrication system. The point of progressive distributor should move back and forth. The grease should overflow from the lateral side of S-tube, swing arm, and agitator. The bearing pedestals of the swing cylinders and the lateral sides of the agitator should be manually lubricated every work shift. Fourth, check concrete piston. Check the seal of the concrete piston is good or not if any mortar enter water tank. When lots of mortar appears in water tank, it means the concrete piston already wear out and should be replaced immediately. The notices of concrete piston. First, the water in water tank should be often replaced and not exceed the rod of hydraulic cylinder. Otherwise, the hydraulic oil and grease above the water cannot fully flow into the concrete cylinder. Second, the concrete is prohibited to lower than agitator shaft. To avoid the damage of concrete piston by air section is the most likely item that is neglected by many operators. Third, ensure the water in the water tank is less than 65 degrees Celsius. Higher temperature will cause faster wearing of concrete piston. If higher than 65 degrees Celsius, cool it with fresh water or turn down the pumping displacement. Fourth, coating the grease on the concrete piston when replacing or checking it to prolong its service life. Fifth, check the spectacle plate and cutting ring. Check the gap between the spectacle plate and cutting ring is normal or not. The gap should less than 2 mm. Check the gap when pumping 2,000 cubic meters of concrete. If the gap is more than 2 mm and the wearing surface is flat, adjust it as follows. First, S-tube move to the neutral position. Second, stop engine and loose the locking screw. Third, counterclockwise tighten the nut. Adjust the gap between the spectacle plate and cutting ring. Fourth, fix the locking screw. Fifth, pumping water. If no water leakage between the spectacle plate and cutting ring and the swing motion is normal, the adjustment is done. Sixth, check the electrical system. Check all the switch functions like L trigger control box, manual control board, emergency stop, PTO switch, display and remote control, etc. Inching the buttons and observe the according motions to judge whether the functions are normal. Check the electrical components and the wire connection.